rappers, they're all so tough until you hear their real name.
Yeah, well, until you see them at a puffy party. Then they're not tough no more. I'm surprised that the rap game is still alive after, because the masculinity that the rappers are supposed to portray, you know, perform on me and you get your deal. That was what I heard while I was on Empire about some of the people in the business. And Petey Pablo, you remember Petey Pablo?
I know who that is.
Petey Pablo, talented writer, singer. Him and Young Buck wrote a song called Ho Is Home. And in that song, back in about 2011 or 29 or something, because he called out all of the taking place at those parties and those people, he was kicked out of the music business. No radio station would play his stuff. So you look for Petey Pablo, he's not around anymore. Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, you know, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at it. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. He's sitting there, just looking at it, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, you know, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to you.
The music industry has the power to build stars overnight, but it also has the power to destroy them just as quickly. And when someone gets erased from the spotlight, it often happens quietly, without explanation. That's exactly what happened to Petey Pablo. Once a Southern rap icon, Petey exploded onto the scene in the early 2000s with chart-topping hits and a signature sound that had the whole country spinning their shirts like helicopters. But as fast as he rose, he vanished. And now, actor Terrence Howard is pulling back the curtain, suggesting that Petey's fall wasn't a coincidence. According to him, Petey Pablo didn't just fade into obscurity. He was systematically broken and blackballed by a powerful industry that demands silence and submission. What happened to Petey Pablo might be more than just a career slump. It could be a cautionary tale about what happens when you refuse to play by the industry's rules.
For 1 year, out of being locked up for 6 years, I was a millionaire. And that was the craziest thing in the world. Like, I sat on the corner. The day we signed the deal, me and my partner Fab, we bought, I remember we had like $7 and like almost $8. And we bought us 240s of Old English 800. 2 egg rolls from a little Chinese spot. And it was raining. And we sat outside and we cried like motherfuckers, like babies, bro. I'd done it. I'd done it. You know, like it was hard at times. Again, I wanted to quit. You know, I mean, I was already 20-something years old and I'm sleeping on somebody's couch. You know, I'm staying in New York. You know, I'm the only thing, because I've never been a slouch. So the only thing that I know that I can do for the people that I'm staying with is make sure that they house clean and make sure that they dishes washed. And, you know, I mean, make sure if they needed something from the store, I would run to the store for them. But I was that dude before I went to prison. You know what I mean? I was that, you know, my money was straight. You know what I mean? I was the big dog before I went. And so here I am now washing people's dishes and, you know, sweeping their house up. And it was hard for a dude that was on a certain level in life, you know, as a street guy, to have to humble himself to just survive. You know what I mean? Because I refused. I mean, sure, I had people in New York that wanted to hand me something. Hey, man, come on, man. We know who you are. Hey, man, we know your brother. We know that. Hey, man, we remember you from back. Hey, man, here, take this and get yourself. I'm not doing that. Because if I do something wrong, then all of this would have been for nothing. You know what I mean? I came home from doing 6 years and left everything and everyone that I knew and I loved to go to a place in pursuit of my dream. I was determined to make this dream happen. And I can't get up here and do something stupid and mess around and get myself caught up in something. I'm already in New York. You know, anything can happen in New York. You know what I mean? A lot of people went up there and they never come back.
Petey Pablo. Petey Pablo is about to sign with Death Row. You feel me? And he said something. He put Suge's name in it. And Suge just walked through the door. It's like 30 his Bloods and Crips. You could tell was hating, and the tension was in that. I ain't with none of that Blood Crip, but I say Blood and Cuz in the same sentence, nigga. I'm a real nigga, I'm an East Oakland nigga, so I can do that. Other can't. So the whole point is, you know, I ain't gonna disrespect you. If you're a Crip, I ain't gonna keep blooding you. If you're a Blood, I ain't gonna cuz you. That just ain't how I get down. You know, I'm gonna do the respect, right? But all my real though, you feel me? Most of them, that was real hitters. You feel me? At the same time, that Petey put the name, Suge's name in the song. And hey, cut the music. That went into the booth and closed the curtain. Right? What's going on? About 3 minutes later, the curtain over. Session over. What you mean section over? We just got here. Session was over. I don't know what that said to that, but I guess he didn't want that nigga to say his name in the song. Period. Cut that whole session over. I ain't heard from Petey Pablo since.
Petey Pablo didn't exactly have a smooth entry into the world of music. After spending time in prison on robbery charges in the early 1990s, he redirected his energy and channeled it into his passion, music. He eventually crossed paths with Timbaland, one of the most influential producers of that era, and together they created what would become Petey's breakout hit. In 2001, Raise Up dropped, produced by Timbaland, and it wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural moment. The song became an anthem for the South, and the lyrics, North Carolina, come on and raise up, turned into a chant at concerts, parties, and sports arenas. The song peaked at number 25 on the Billboard Hot 100 and helped Petey's debut album, Diary of a Sinner, first entry, earn a Grammy nomination for Best Rap Album in 2003. That album went gold, proving that Petey wasn't a one-hit wonder.
Today, when you say North Carolina, everybody want to raise up. It's like, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling, and I'm still humbled because I'm such a hometown country boy that I don't feel there's nothing bigger than the group, and Carolina is the group.
Like Trick Daddy now.
I don't feel like
that weight on him, boy. That weight get on you, boy.
It's just an amazing feeling.
Did you ever imagine it would be as big as it's gotten?
Never. All I wanted, and I was just inducted into the Carolina Music Hall of Fame.
Wow.
So in my speech, I said, only thing I wanted was for a state that never had the recognition to be recognized. Because my label was like, Petey, we can't put that song out because don't nobody know what North Carolina is. And I'm like, well, this is all I'm giving you, right?
$1,000 in revenue and gave him a brief return to the spotlight. But it wasn't a full-blown comeback. It was a thank you from Howard, a nod to someone who had shown him loyalty and integrity. Unfortunately, even with the exposure from Empire, the industry still had no interest in reviving Pablo's career. His name was still absent from radio, major labels, and tour lineups. In 2010, Petey Pablo made headlines for all the wrong reasons. He was arrested at Raleigh-Durham International Airport for attempting to bring a stolen, loaded Smith & Wesson pistol onto a flight. He was charged with possession of a stolen firearm and sentenced to nearly 3 years in federal prison. On the surface, it seemed like another artist sabotaging his own career. But when you look at the bigger picture, things don't add up. Other rappers, T.I., Lil Wayne, Meek Mill, have all served time and returned to massive support from labels and fans. Their prison stints became part of their narrative, part of their redemption arc.
Petey Pablo, let me just say something right quick. Hip-hop, anybody who got a respect for hip-hop, you listen to your right now. Suge, y'all gotta respect what Suge just did for the game, okay? Regardless of the negativity that the media has portrayed, that man is hip-hop history. You understand what I'm saying? That man is hip-hop history. When was on and cracking and that man was in the media without negativity, y'all was all on his Then as soon as the white man or whoever come in and try to say what the man did wrong, who he was involved with, I want to let him go. Stop doing that to people in the industry.
I didn't know he was with Death Row.
Up your own merit. Don't let no other rapper say something about one rapper and you take from that one. You understand what I'm saying? Stick with it. Be a true fan. Don't be no whole fan. You know what I'm saying? If you dedicated, be dedicated and us. If not, we don't need you because gonna eat anyway. Eat anyway. Anyway. You understand what I'm saying? It's new in the system. Where you at, Remy? Where you at, Jay? Where you at, Jay? It's new in the system. Ain't nobody just trying to shake their in the videos no more.
Her
It's about
dance.
to get money. It's about
not
network and
dance.
communication. You understand what I'm saying?
But for Petey, the industry showed no such mercy. His prison sentence was treated like a final nail in the coffin rather than a temporary setback. Why? Because, unlike the others, Petey no longer had institutional backing. He wasn't protected by powerful labels or influential managers. He had already been blackballed before the arrest, and the charges just gave the industry an excuse to keep him out permanently.
Just imagine, I'm watching Petey Pablo in his car, and my brother, Big Spider, in his passenger seat doing this. And Petey Pablo letting him unscrew his earrings. Rest in peace, Del Dog from Main Street. If it wasn't for Del Dog pulling up, not demanding, but really politicking, pleading, begging my brother, because he had interest with Petey Pablo that he needed Petey Pablo to feel like, I'm safe with you, I was here with you. So Del Dog really pleaded to my brother to give him that pass, which was a very hard pass for my brother to get. But I just seen Petey Pablo sit there and allow a nigga to screw his earrings out and didn't do nothing.
Damn.
Am I lying, Petey Pablo?
Man, Suge just pretended like he wasn't around or didn't, because wasn't Petey Pablo actually signed to Death Row at one point or was gonna sign?
This is the thing. With Suge, it had nothing to do with Petey Pablo. It had everything to do with when he got the with us. My brother M.O., his whole interest, his approach was to ask Suge permission. Is it okay for me to get down like that around here while we moving around? And just before it was even a Petey Pablo to think about, and my brother getting that Suge like that, when nobody in particular was the person we're talking about, Suge kind of gave him the green light and let him know, I know how you get down, and when we moving, that's in the game too. You know, just don't be messy, cross nobody up, implicate nothing. Suge ain't robbing nobody. He ain't got nothing to do with it, but he was trying to let my brother know, I know how you get down, and when shit go down, if it go down, don't feel like I think you offending me or, you know, backdooring. Like, green light, you know, just keep it clean as far as don't have me crossed up. That was just the understanding. And Petey Pablo just somebody else, that another. So that was just the understanding. Suge wasn't going to let Petey Pablo feel like, oh, you watch me get robbed. Nah. Suge still going to have a position with Petey Pablo like I'm at least trying to see what I can do. And Suge was cool enough to where he might negotiate a few coins up out of Petey Pablo on our behalf for him to get them earrings back. It was that type of understanding. You feel me? So I'm just letting you know it's nothing new for that type of be going down. Like Petey Pablo, yeah, he was sitting there real comfortable, calm, letting the screw his earrings.
Terrence Howard has repeatedly spoken out about the dark side of fame. He's not alone. Other artists like Jaguar Wright, Orlando Brown, and even Kanye West have echoed similar claims about an elite system that controls access, silences dissent, and rewards compliance. Howard believes there's a cult-like energy in the entertainment business, where success often comes at the cost of integrity. He's described situations where actors and musicians are pressured to compromise themselves in exchange for roles, record deals, or public favor. Petey Pablo isn't the only artist whose rise was cut short under suspicious circumstances. In fact, when you start looking closely at the careers of young rappers who were once tied to industry giants like Diddy, Jay-Z, and even Birdman, a disturbing pattern starts to emerge. These artists came in with raw talent, charisma, and in many cases, major cosigns from the most powerful names in the game. But somewhere along the way, their momentum vanished, and many of them were never heard from again.
All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed.
Setting Shine up to take the fall. When Shine decided to get his own lawyers, I knew that they was going to set Shine up to take the fall. These guys in the industry want to act like that they didn't know that Puff helped send Shine to jail.
Then there's G-Dep, another bad boy artist with a promising future. In the early 2000s, he dropped Special Delivery, which became a street anthem. But behind the scenes, he was struggling with guilt. In 2010, he walked into a police station and confessed to a cold case he had committed years earlier. That confession landed him 15 years to life. Diddy had little to say about it. Many questioned why
the whole time you was in prison, he didn't reach out to you?
Yeah, you know. Yeah, man. Shout out to him too, man.
Yeah, I mean, he going through a lot right now. How you feel about everything Diddy going through right now? Like his houses getting ready for trafficking. How you feel about that?
Well, I mean, I feel like, whatever's going on, he need, he's gonna handle it. However, whatever happens, whatever transpires, you know what I mean? I mean, like I said, man, I don't know what happened. I don't even know what's going on. Where I was at. You know what I mean? So, I hope the brother get around it, man. You know what I mean? Whatever's going on.
The easy person to blame is Diddy because everybody blame him for stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's dope, man. For you to be like, yo, I did this or I did that,
I mean, yeah, man. I mean,
this dude, he just got out of prison.
You can't run around.
This dude here.
I don't know, man. I don't really subscribe to that though.
I'm just clowning y'all. Excuse me. I don't know this young brother, but he does it like he just got out of jail. But he probably is a positive, good brother. I don't want to put that. I don't want to be that type of person to just start shitting on the brother. This dude might be saving babies somewhere in his neighborhood or something. I'm up here clowning him. But shout out to this brother. This is the Industry Secrets. This is the YouTube channel. Is this thing even on? Yeah, it's on. This is the Industry Secrets. It's a YouTube channel on here on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to their channel. I just did just now. And support that channel. Let's go ahead and get back. This is good, huh? About Petey Pablo and Suge and shit. Let's go ahead and get back into it, y'all. Oh shit! I hit the thing over here. My bad.
You gotta look at what's really going on. A lot of times, I don't know if that's something that I developed. And I don't know when that developed. I mean, the truth is, the truth is just important. Like, you know what I mean? At some point in my life, I realized that, truth is just, and genuineness is important, and that kind of, trickles out into, anything you really can do. Like, be truthful. Why do you think you got dropped? You know what I'm saying? It's all about truth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why do you think? Come on, honestly. You know what I mean? Don't fool yourself. You only lying to yourself. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, you know what I mean?
Over in Jay-Z's camp, similar questions have been raised. Remember Memphis Bleek? He was once seen as Jay-Z's protege and was supposed to inherit the Rockefeller throne. But despite multiple albums and major backing, Bleek never really broke through. His career plateaued, and he quietly faded out of the spotlight. Jay-Z once said, Bleek could be one hit away his whole career, but that hit never came. And some critics say Jay-Z never truly invested in developing Bleek as a standalone star. He was more of a shadow figure in the dynasty.
Landed in LA, homie pulled up on you and said, is this Memphis Bleek and Jay-Z album ever gonna happen? Was it an EP?
Yeah.
Because I have never heard of that. Was that coming?
No. That was from him. That was his idea.
Oh, the TMZ dude.
Yeah, he suggested
he made that up.
Yeah, he
That's
was
a
just
good
like,
rumor to have.
I love that, right? That's what I said. Yeah, okay. That was a good one. Okay. He made that up right there on the spot. I'm like, I should have tried that at 100 million, not a Billy.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie.
Yo, Hov, let me get a verse. I can hear that right now. Yo, you bugging. Pop that. Yo, crack that dude, say my. Let's go spend some money, you bucket.
Right. Okay, but let me just be clear with you. As I'm digging into, you got like a whole album. You got a double album with him.
I do. People don't give credit. I do have an album with Hov, the Dynasty album. Yeah, the Dynasty album is a collaboratory album of all of us.
Damn, you right.
You know what I'm saying?
Emil is on that as well.
No, Emil ain't make the Dynasty album. Nah, she ain't make the Dynasty album. Freeway was the new addition on the Dynasty album.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then there's Emil, the female rapper who featured prominently on early Rockefeller tracks, including Can I Get 8 with Jay-Z and J. Rule. She was marketed heavily at first, but disappeared almost instantly after releasing her debut album. She later hinted in interviews that industry politics and misogyny played a role in her departure. She also mentioned that being around that level of fame came with a toxic culture that she couldn't stomach. Whether she left or was pushed out, her career was a prime example of how quickly female talent can be discarded in the hip-hop machine.
How she was not willing to participate in demonic rituals and then just the after parties, the activity they wanted her to
She was in
participate
demonic
in.
rituals.
She joined Rockefeller Records. It was only for the intent to make music. Okay, so she's admitting that's why she left Rockefeller Records, because she was not willing to participate.
What actually happened? Like between your relation, did the relationship go sour with Jay-Z?
I swear, like I said, I mean, I really don't know what happened.
Okay. Till this
It
day.
was never no bad blood between us or nothing.
Nah.
You know, y'all, this is, I don't want to use up all their material, so go, I put the link in the description so y'all can watch the full video without my ass in it. So y'all can go ahead and click at the bottom and y'all can watch this full video. And it also contribute and support to their views at the Industry Secrets YouTube channel. So I just wanted to go ahead and get my little commentary now. I think all this shit is sick. I think all this shit is sick. And I think it's all put together and it's drummed up by the government. This is all planned and this is all executed by a higher power. And that's why you gotta stay grounded and meditate and eat a lot of fruit and vegetables and pray. That's what you gotta do now. So all this shit is stupid, and Terrence Howard is right. He's exposing. That's why he's probably is not getting as much work. Although he has that. He had that one movie with Kevin Hart where he had like the perm and shit. I do want to see that. I think that's on Peacock. So that's where they try to get you to buy all these different streaming services. So I probably have to go ahead and download the Peacock and then pay for like a 1 month just to watch that shit. But I still need to catch up with the last what's that one show they have on HBO? HBO Max is my favorite show. I'm not gonna keep paying every month for HBO, and I don't really watch shit on HBO except for that show. But it's back now for another season. I forgot the name of the show though. It's with John Goodman and Danny McBride. The Righteous Gemstone. That's a good show. But anyway, back to this video. Yeah, I think all this stuff, I mean, P. Pablo probably saw some shit that he wasn't supposed to see. He don't want to be a part of that whole, he don't be, motherfucker he don't want to be a part of that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's all that is. That's all that is. You know, all this stuff is sick. It's completely sick, you know. Shout out to Terrence Howard, though. That good that he's bringing. I mean, this shit we kind of already knew, but being that he's been in the game over 30 years, I remember when Terrence Howard played Randy Jackson in the Jackson movie back in the day. I was in freaking, that came out in 93, 92. I think I was just a freshman in high school when that came out. That's how long he's been acting. I'm in my 40s now. When I was in high school, I was just getting to high school. He was one of his first roles. He played Randy Jackson. No, he played. Was it Randy? I think he played Jackie Jackson, the oldest Jackie. Yeah, Jackson. He played Jackie. He played Jackson. He played Jackie Jackson. Anyway, what do y'all think about this video? Leave your comments and subscribe to Charles and Israel. Hit the thumbs up button.